Hi, everyone. All of you beautiful people and faithful followers in YouTube land. Welcome to our Podvision. Our show is called I Stand Corrected, and we are your host, Tarpon Total Healthcare. We are a chiropractic office located in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and our mission is to relieve your pain without the use of drugs or surgery and provide you spinal adjustments you can trust. My name is Angel, and I am the patient liaison for our office and your direct connection to wellness. So welcome. Thank you for joining. Today's guest is a really awesome guy. He's got a really great name in the community. He's known for a few things. A sit-down comic on the low-key side is one of them. But the owner of Radiant Technology Solutions in Tarpon Springs, Florida. He wears a number of hats, but my favorite one is this one. Captain Ron. So Ron Sliker, owner of Radiant Technology Solutions. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We've been talking about this for a while, doing some things with you over in your space, which is spitting distance almost. I am a Kentucky girl, so yeah, it's spitting distance for us, from your office to our office. So I'm looking forward to like the further fun stuff that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
But so we've got questions. The world wants to know. What is it about what it is that you do that was the choice that you made? This is what, of all of the things that you could have been in life, you could have been a competitive ice skater. You could have been a garbage guy for Pinellas County. You could have ran for president. I feel like you'd have done a good job on that one. You could have actually been a boat captain.
Yeah.
And you are the owner of a really well-established IT company and web design. What made you choose to do that?
Well, I have weak ankles, so I can't really be a figure skater. But technology just kind of came naturally to me when I was a kid. My dad worked on a lot of computers. He always had computers around, and of course, video games. I grew up in that kind of era when video games became popular, and just naturally gravitated towards it. I love playing on the computer. I love, taking things apart, putting them back together. So it was fun.
Dude stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Not exactly just dude stuff, but I know a couple of ladies that are in the industry in the same market that you're in. But yeah, it makes sense that you would like all that stuff. Which video games?
Oh, definitely the old Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Then, graduated to things like Killer Instinct and Mario Kart and, just all kinds of fun stuff. I was bigger on the, play for 30 minutes and then go do something else. I have short attention spans. So NBA Jams was an all-time favorite, I think.
These are all way back, playback. There's going to be some people that are like, what are they even talking about? It's okay. It's okay. That was back when video games were pure. I mean, I don't really want to say that, but they were better in my opinion. I have a very low opinion of video games myself, but that's for another show for another time, and we can talk about that later at that point.
Absolutely.
But so you guys do a lot of stuff in your office. Managed IT, you go on-site, off-site.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about that.
Pretty much any technology that's inside the business or in the cloud, we help small businesses with, from the cables in the walls to the computers, printers, you name it, the network security. We do all of that. We help move customers from old on-premise servers to the cloud and Office 365 or Microsoft Azure. And our goal is just to make technology easier for them.
Right.
Because good technology can enhance a business and act as a catalyst almost. If they can do more and do it quicker,
sure,
then their business will grow faster. But if technology is not doing good, it slows them down and they in some cases can't grow.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of so in the medical field, and I know that you work in with medical offices. There's really not any business that you couldn't feasibly work with.
No, we're happy to help anybody. I mean, I was just before here, I was over at Lily's Tacos talking with Dustin over there, and then before that, I was at Invigorate Wellness just down the street here,
Yep.
and talking with them. And we have customers that are just solo entrepreneurs, all the way up to customers with 200-300 employees.
Wow, that's really awesome. When did you guys get started?
2018.
Wow, so you're still relatively new. Well, y'all are all over the place. You can't miss your vehicle. Your vehicle is kind of like mine, and I love it. It looks like the eye of the storm that's part of your logo. We have a named storm out there now. What is it, Adelia?
Yeah.
It makes me think of a Vidalia onion, which makes me hungry. I'm ready to go have one of the blossom things from one of the steakhouses. Anyway, wow, I digress. So as far as storm preparedness goes, though, how are y'all able to be helpful to a business owner in that capacity?
Well, lots of ways, honestly. We can help just assess the equipment and stuff, make sure it's prepared for when a storm comes through, all the way up to like disaster recovery plans for the event the business has to close and they have to work from home, which has definitely shifted a lot since the whole COVID-19 thing. There's a lot more people ready to work at home, but there's still people out there that are not capable of it. So we're still doing a lot of that kind of work and really helping customers have that fallback of being in the cloud,
right?
So that they can work from anywhere. It makes a big impact,
right? So then you do the hardwiring and stuff too, as far as like if it's a new build out or they're doing a remodel or whatever, you go in and you actually run the wires and you get the things connected, all the things that it takes to prep to get connected to the cloud. What if a person is in a very rural area and they're not able to have stable connectivity?
There's always a way to have stable connectivity. It just, of course, depends on how much they're willing to pay for it. There's satellite internet available.
Right.
There's mobile hotspots and stuff like that. Just, you should be able to maintain a basic connection to the internet anywhere in the world these days.
Yeah, except in Kentucky, in Fordsville. That's where my mom lives. If I want to go and not be found by anybody, I'm going home. Because you don't get squat out there. Like, there's just nothing. That's actually why I was kind of asking that question.
Yeah.
But I can't help but wonder, like, if there's some parts of, even down here where there would just be a difficulty being able to find, good internet coverage.
I think it depends on the need. Like your mom probably doesn't really need or even want to have internet, where she's at, but there's definitely opportunity for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm going to need y'all to move to Kentucky or have an operation up there so we can get my mom's place, worked out.
Yeah.
So
we're happy to help.
Managed IT, then the cloud solutions, you do security cameras,
yep,
and things like that. So how deep into, like, is there anything in the security camera field that you don't do?
We don't do anything residential.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good to know.
Yeah. Strictly, we work with business to business, and I'd love to help everybody's grandma out there with their camera or their printer, but I just don't have time, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm sure that you have, other folks that you're able to refer out.
Absolutely.
But then, so is there? Do you provide the camera systems?
Yeah, we sell all kinds of IT hardware. I mean, we're partners with Dell, HP, Lenovo, Cisco, tons of other companies as well. If you're looking for IT hardware, we can typically get a discount on it because we're a partner,
right?
And then we can save you a little bit of money on it. Same with software, Microsoft as well. We're Microsoft partners.
I was just going to say, aren't y'all? I remember seeing something about you being Microsoft certified.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Just basically proves that you know what you're doing. It's a piece of paper. It's like a license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't use Microsoft myself very much anymore. Once Google, all of everything that I do, I really just kind of keep it housed there. But and they're pretty similar. at least. But man, I remember when like Microsoft was the only thing that was available, and that was a struggle bus. If you didn't know somebody that knew how to like, really use Excel, and then even the different components in Word. Looking back, I'm like, wow, those things were actually kind of simple, but at the time they were definitely not simple. So having somebody on hand that knows how to uncomplicate things quickly it's kind of nice to do.
Yeah, that's what we do. We get calls all the time about people having, not sure how to create a signature in Microsoft Outlook, or how to create a template or use a template in Word. Excel issues all the time we help out with. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. What is your favorite thing to do in y'all's business?
Well, my favorite thing is probably to market the business. I enjoy doing that, sitting with people like you. But technology-wise, I love working in the cloud infrastructure, working in Microsoft Azure, building VMs. We recently had a customer, I think I showed you this in my presentation the other day, where they had 4 servers that were in their old IT provider's network, and the IT provider said, you can't have any of this information, but we were able to extract the data and restore it all to virtual servers in Microsoft Azure, and it's faster, it's better, they're happy, and it's a win-win for everybody. Saved them quite a bit of money too.
Right. So your industry, as a lot of them are, has the tendency to be difficult. Like when you're wanting to go from one company because you're not happy with their services for whatever the reason is, and then want to convert them over, and they want to become your customer. Level of difficulty, I can imagine, varies. Some would be easier than others. Like what's a worst case scenario situation that y'all have had to deal with?
That was probably one of the worst I've seen. I've seen people go down for a while as a result of the previous IT provider not providing information.
That feels so blackmailish.
It happens. I mean, there's some companies out there that do it. Lots of website companies that do it. I honestly, if it's me, if you don't want to work with me, that's okay. Not everybody's for everybody. We're contract free. Managed IT services. There's not a lot out there that are doing that, and we just provide the service and try and build the relationship with the customer, so that it doesn't get to that point.
I didn't know that y'all were contract free either. It's just a shame. Like I remember when we were transferring from one electronic medical records provider to another one. It was like pulling teeth out of a baby's mouth. It was absolutely awful. And as I've gotten involved in the community and, just different businesses with different businesses, and then I hear the same type of retaliation, honestly, if you will, like a punishment. Oh, okay, you don't want to be my customer anymore? Okay, no problem. And then hell begins. Just to be able to they hold up your information. It's almost like, like it's like a hostage situation. And it feels like the things like that shouldn't even be legal.
I would agree. I mean, that IT provider could have been in quite a lawsuit had we not, gotten the information out for them.
Wow. And then all of those things take time.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of their point.
Yeah, I mean, it did cause the customer to spend more money because we were initially just going to transfer that information. Right. Kind of like you would just hand over a package or whatever from one person to the next. We can do that with the servers on the back end, but because it all had to be built from scratch and all that kind of stuff, it cost more money.
A lot more money.
Now we were pretty conscious of the fact that they were, getting strong armed by the other guys, so we helped out as much as we could. Yeah,
that's awesome of you guys. So y'all have, I've been up to your office a couple of times there in the Tarpon Towers. It sounds so bougie. But you guys' setup is really nice. You've got Anthony, who I've met a number of times, has very luxurious Jesus hair. That's one of the best ways to remember it.
The ladies love Anthony.
Yeah, I bet they do. And then you've got Michael, yourself, and your daughter.
Yep.
Hannah. So Hannah, I've got a Hannah at my office, so now it's kind of wrecked me for saying the name right. And then your lovely CEO, Kristen, who's your wife, and so you guys have it's a small operation, but you're doing a lot of big work, and you span out in the Nature Coast area pretty largely. But you can work with anybody.
Yeah. We do also have Carlos. He's a remote employee full time, and then
I did see that on there.
we're bringing on another guy starting in like a week and a half.
That's fantastic.
Locally here, yeah. But we travel all around the Tampa Bay area, all the way down to like Sarasota at times, but we can help anybody, anytime, anywhere. We have customers, I think, in 15 states right now.
Okay. Do you find that people are more amiable to meet like via Zoom, or do you have some people that are like, nope, I want to look into your iris. I want you sitting in front of me and help me do this Microsoft template because I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, do you have a lot of people that still request or require your physical presence on site?
Occasionally, but yeah, most people are comfortable with remote support these days, especially. There's a lot more companies that their entire business is filled with remote employees. We have, a customer that's 40 employees, and they're all remote in different areas of the country and even the world. So people are just kind of grown accustomed to that Zoom lifestyle of, getting dressed from the top up and showing up to work. So
so many stories from the COVID era of people forgetting that they did not dress appropriately from the waist down, and then they stood up to go push the door closed because their kid was walking inside. I'm sure that you've probably had awkward Zoom calls.
I've seen some things.
I've seen some things. Okay, that's hysterical. So speaking of seeing some things, tell us here. As a matter of fact, let's swap hats. You get to be Captain Ron, and I'll be Radiant Technology. All right, here we go.
The captain thing, I kind of don't really know where it came from, but what's funny is my grandfather. He died when I was 1 year old. Actually, when my dad was 10 years old, he passed, and he was a captain of a boat that would drive back and forth Lake Erie, and he always wore a captain's hat. And I guess somehow it was like in my DNA that I needed to pick one up and goof around. So that's what I do sometimes.
That makes some of your marketing so much fun. Y'all have created some memes and stuff, and a really good following, just to see what in the world is Ron going to post today. What has been one of the is funnest? Is that actually a word? Funnest? It's going to be today. What was the funnest commercial or whatever that surrounded itself around Captain Ron that y'all have done?
There was actually one that didn't really make it to air.
Oh. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But it was myself, Drake with Southern Landscape Solutions,
I love that guy.
and Josh with Countywide Plumbing, and we were being towed around in a boat on the back of his dad's pickup truck, and we were driving around, and I don't remember where we were supposed to go with that, but we had fun doing it.
Why didn't it go to air?
I think there's like a little snippet of it that made it to like a reel somewhere. But
right.
Yeah, it didn't.
Drake does some pretty out of the box kind of, and his outtakes are really funny too. But man, I've seen some of y'all's too. I had started the thing out saying that you were like a low key comedian. People, when they first meet you, I think that their initial opinion would be, oh, he seems pretty shy, pretty introverted. But the more you get to know Captain Ron, not so introverted really at all. But because you guys have a lot of fun in your business. It's one of the things that I really, really do love about my interactions with y'all. You're very fun to get to know. You're very personable. You make yourself available, and which I think, of course, in business is really important. People somehow or another have lost the ability to know how to like pick up the phone when it rings and say hello with the business name, and like the proper business etiquette went flying out the window somewhere, but not with you guys. Y'all have leveled up your professionalism in from starting with the phone call to being on site, or on the Zoom call and stuff. I've had some really great experiences with y'all myself as a customer with you too. And but I would assume that you've had some times where things didn't go exactly to plan.
Yeah.
And you've had to deal with some difficult things in business too. What has some of that ended up looking like for you? I feel like every business owner should have to write a book, and that there should be a chapter that's called "And then this happened."
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of our biggest challenges have obviously been growth related.
Sure.
As you build the pipeline sometimes to the point that, it gets pretty full, and then all of a sudden it just flushes down all these opportunities right in your lap, and you're having to juggle a bunch of different things. And luckily the guys, they're, in IT, we work late a lot. It's just part of, the nature of things. We can't take down systems during the day when customers are working, so we got to do stuff after hours. And it's, thankfully for my team, we've been able to pull through everything.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Secure email. I know that it became, it was more popular is not the word, required though for some industries. It should be, like the medical field, faxing is, you would think that in 2023 fax machines would be a thing of the past. They're not.
No.
I hate fax with my whole heart, because I can fax it 20 times and get 20 confirmations of transmission, and the other person on the other end receives absolutely nothing. And then the fight ensues.
Yeah.
It's like just a matter of competency. And so, what are some of what's a way that you would recommend to a business owner that is still maybe heavily dependent on facsimile, using a fax machine for communication, just a better alternative? Maybe they're older and they feel like new technology is challenging and faxing is easy. And it's also common, and they're just used to it. It's part of their normal. How would you help an older business owner transition from the fax life to the digital life?
Well, I think I don't know that faxing is going to go away anytime soon.
Really?
Yeah, but it's going to be digital faxing. We do a lot of that right now, where it's just simple as snapping a picture with your phone of the document, or scanning it into your system as a PDF, and then you can send it digitally through a fax line with a voice over IP provider.
Right.
Which, if you don't know, voice over IP is essentially clouds that work over the internet instead of old analog phone lines.
Right. With the 50-foot cord, so you can reach one end of the office to the other.
The curly-cued cord.
The curly-cued ones, where you could also jump rope at the same time. We're dating ourselves here. But I feel like I visit, primary care physicians' offices and some other specialists that make sense for chiropractic care. And I'll walk in and be like, holy smokes, I have actually stepped back into the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Wallpaper and all.
Yeah. I mean, you can do the same thing, or just as secure with like a secure email. And then you can even send encrypted email. There's different add-ons for Office 365 that you can do that with, or there's licensing you can purchase directly from Office, or there's add-ons that you can get. Proofpoint's one that we've worked with before, that encrypts the email, and the person has to put in a password to even view it. So it makes it better. And you can also share files like that through OneDrive.
Right. Yeah. And that's secure.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are a lot of different options. You do a lot of education. That's another thing that I value very much about you, because some of these things, I consider myself to be quite technologically savvy. However, I've learned a lot of information that I did not know from you, just listening to you talk with other people and just having conversations ourselves. Secure email is something that I feel like every office should have, that's dealing with protected health information and whatnot. So are services like that expensive?
Not as much as you would think.
Yeah.
No. I mean, as far as the secure email goes, we get discounts if instead of going directly to Microsoft, we get it at a discount. We sell it to the customer at a discount. It's a win-win for everybody.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, and you can choose to do it monthly or annually. Unfortunately, everything has become a subscription these days.
Sure.
So it just depends on how you want to handle the subscription side of it.
Right. That's pretty awesome. just to know that because I remember when it first came, it was very expensive, and so a lot of offices are just like, we'll just stick with our fax machine.
Yeah.
And they still have it. So before, as we're wrapping this up, one of the things that actually really cultivated our friendship was one of the things that you and your wife started, that Tarpon Total Healthcare absolutely loved, and that is Holiday Community Cares. Yep. So real quick, about a minute or so, let's talk about HCC.
Okay. Yeah, basically, we'd lived in Holiday for a while, my family and I, and we saw a need that the community had. It's not an official city, so there's, it's unincorporated, they call it, so there's not a lot of help from the county. There's no city to help. It's just an area that needs a lot of help. The roads need help, so we've been, and we've done some events
together. Yeah.
We've done Touch a Truck a couple times, and so a bunch of cleanups in the neighborhoods. But we also have worked with the county to. There's a new park going in that's going to be off of Darlington.
Right.
I believe they start on that next month.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just trying to help. Give back to the community where we can, and help people that need help.
Well, we might have another opportunity to do that now when seeing what Hurricane Vidalia Onion is going to do. Hurricane Idalia. So Holiday Community Cares, it really is an awesome organization. We're very proud to be part of that with you and supporting you and Kristen in that endeavor to make our community better. So thank you so much for being on the show. Make sure that if you're a small business owner, go to Radiant Technologies website and you can actually have a free assessment done. There's a QR code that is getting ready to pop up on the screen. There's also a link that you can go to. So it is a no-charge network assessment. And Ron is a fantastic person to ask all of your network questions to. So follow them on social media. You definitely want to follow them on social media. He has a lot of great content. We'll definitely have you cracking up. This is just one of the give me that hat back. This is one of the hats he wears. But this one will keep you coming back for more. So follow him on all the socials. Follow us on all of our socials too. We're on YouTube, of course, Facebook, Instagram, flipping Twitter. We're on all of them, man. We're just trying to be out there and encouraging everyone and providing you with great education on businesses in the area and also on fantastic chiropractic care. So thank you so much for watching. And at Tarpon Total Healthcare, we provide you spinal adjustments you can trust so you too can stand corrected.